Hi guys, happy Thursday. Today we are going to be talking again about compound inequalities, but I wanted to start off with some Pinterest posts here. Okay. Also notice that I added a practice assignment to Elastic for you guys, 6-3 compound inequalities practice assignment. That's just the problems. I think there's 10 questions, and you will have to enter your answers in set builder notation for the ones where I'm actually asking you to solve. 5 of them are solving, 5 of them are graphing. I couldn't get the Elastic program to do both in the same problem. That's for a practice grade. I would like to do a quiz on compound inequalities in the near future. So I'm going to be putting together a review for quiz, and then I'll make a short, maybe 10 question quiz for you to do, so you'll have an assessment grade. For Pinterest, let's see. Opens birthday card, pretends not to notice money while reading card. I love Chihuahua memes. They're so cute. SpongeBob, of course. Me, hope school gets canceled due to COVID-19. Me when it actually gets canceled. Yeah. This was cute. Throwback Thursday. You remember when the grocery stores had toilet paper? Yeah. Hopefully they will again. I don't have an unlimited supply of that. One day you'll be able to tell your grandkids, I survived the great toilet paper shortage of 2020. And me, I'll bet by the year 2020 we'll have flying cars and starships. 2020. Those are good, you got to admit it. Those are good. Okay, like I said, I want to review compound inequalities again because this is the first new material I've actually tried to teach you guys virtually. So here we have some examples of and or inequalities, and we'll be graphing the solutions. Like I said, in Elastic, you'll have to do one or the other because they don't have a setup where I can do both at the same time. We're going to start off with this. This is an and when we're solving the ands, I need my pen. When we're solving the ands, we solve them both, and then we graph the solution together on the number line. So here our first move would be to get this f by itself, and we're going to do that by subtracting 6 from both sides. Now we have -2 is less than f. Over here we subtract 6 from both sides. Luckily most of these are pretty straightforward for solving, and that would be -1. Now, to type the answer into Elastic, you're going to use set builder notation, which starts with a brace, and then you write the variable that you're solving for. I believe on all my Elastic assignments, I made the variable x, so there wouldn't be any chance for confusion or mess up there. And then you combine these two solutions into one statement. So you would have -2 is less than f, which is also less than -1, end brace. To graph this, you'll notice that both of these are just less than signs. They don't have the or equal to. So we're going to have open circles at -2 and -1. Open circle there, open circle there. And the only values of f that solve this system are the numbers in between -1 and -2. It's kind of small shaded area there. Okay. Since no one's saying anything, I'll assume you don't have any questions, and I'll move on. No, seriously, if you have questions, you can email me or message me in Google Hangouts or through Google Classroom. I'm available pretty much all day during regular school hours. This is an or, all right? We still want to solve both of these separately, so we would subtract 3 from both sides here, and that'll give us w is less than or equal to -3. Or, on the other side, we could subtract 7 from both sides, and that will give us w is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, set builder notation on this one, the variable we're solving for, the pike symbol, and then you put both of these answers in with the variable on the left, and I always put the left one in first and the right one in second. So you would have w is less than or equal to -3, and then I do a space and then the word or, and then another space, and w is greater than or equal to 2 with the ending brace. To graph it on the number line, I'm going to graph them each individually. The first one, I want to show that W is numbers less than or equal to -3. So because there's an or equal to, it's a colored in dot. And I want to show numbers that are less than or equal to -3. So numbers to the left then would be where I would shade. For this one, I have W is greater than or equal to +2, again with a colored in dot. And I'm going to shade the numbers that are greater than, which would be to the right. Okay. That's how that one looks. Good. All right. Next example. And the questions that I would put on a quiz would be no harder than this. This is an AND statement. You know that because it's the only type of compound inequality that can be written without the word in it. And since there's no word, this tells you this is an AND. So you want to separate it into two separate problems. You have -6 is less than b minus 4. And then you would have b minus 4 is less than 2. To get b by itself, you add 4 to both sides. Same thing you're going to do over here. Add 4 to both sides. All right, -6 plus 4 is -2. So b is greater than -2. And b is also less than 6. So we're going to bring these back together into one solution with set builder notation, the variable you're solving for, the pike symbol. -2 is less than b, which is less than 6. End brace. Down here on the number line, we're going to have two open circles because these are both just less than signs. So we're going to have an open circle at -2 and an open circle at +6. And B is all the values in between these. You will color in the line between the two dots. Okay. Moving right along. Here's an OR statement. To solve the left side of this, we would add 2 to both sides. And that gives us p is less than or equal to 0. And over here, we would also add 2 to both sides, which gives us p is greater than 3. Okay. Set builder notation, p, pike. And then we would have p is less than or equal to 0, space, or space, p is greater than 3. Just graph them separately. We know p is less than or equal to 0, so colored dot at 0. And we want to show values less than 0, so we shade to the left. P is also numbers greater than 3, not greater than or equal to those. So we do an open circle at 3, and we shade to the right. I very much appreciate those of you who are actually watching my videos too. It makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time. I appreciate that. All right, this one's an AND, so we're going to separate it into two separate problems. -5 is less than or equal to 2a minus 1, and 2a minus 1 is less than 9. And we know this is an AND. To get 2a by itself, we're going to add 1 to both sides first. That will give us -4 is less than or equal to 2a. And then we divide both sides by 2. And because we're dividing by a positive number, we will not do anything to the sign. -2 is less than or equal to a. And over here, we add 1 to both sides. That gives us 2a is less than 10. Divide both sides by 2. Again, it's a positive number, so we don't flip the sign. Right? To write this in set builder notation, we have a as our variable on this one with a pike, and then we would have -2 is less than or equal to a, which is less than 5. End brace. Graphing it on the number line, the dot on -2 is going to be colored in, and the dot on the 5 is going to be open. Okay. And a is greater than -2 and less than 5, so we're going to color in all of the space in between the two dots. If we ever get back to class, you guys are really going to appreciate my super Promethean board handwriting, aren't you? I know you are, because my handwriting really sucks on this. Right. next example and my last example, so you'll be free to go have recess or something after this. We have -1 is less than 2x minus 1, and we have 2x minus 1 is less than 5. All right, this is an and because it doesn't have a word in here, so it has to be and. Again, this is a two-stepper, so we're going to add 1 to both sides. That'll give us 0 over here. And then when we divide both sides by 2, we still have 0. So we have 0 is less than or equal to x. And on this side, add 1 to both sides. That gives me 2x is less than 6. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x is less than 3. To write this in set builder notation, we have x, pike, and we're going to bring it all back together again because we can with an and. We'll have 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 3. Okay. Now when we go to graph this on the number line, we want to show that x is numbers in between, and this is colored in dot because of the or equal to. The 3 is an open dot because of the no or equal to. And x is greater than 0 but less than 3, so we're going to color in the space between the two dots. Okay, so these 6 examples are pretty much what I would put on a quiz. I wouldn't make them any harder than this. And like I said, on Edge Elastic, I would have to have that you solve the problem in one step and then graph the solution in the next step because they don't have the capability of putting those together. In the meantime, if you do anything on Edge Elastic that you are dissatisfied with your grade, please reach out to me. I can reopen Edge Elastic assignments pretty easily. You all know that. And like I said, I'm checking my Google Classroom and my Google Hangouts and my email pretty much all day long during regular school days. However, I will be offline next week because next week is spring break, and you all know that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.